Good afternoon, guys. Can you hear me? All right. We just had lunch. So probably what we'll try to do is we'll try to make it interactive. So don't wait until the end of the presentation to ask questions. Because from my side, my goals are very simple. When you leave this room, I want you to think that Supermicro is the thought leader, which we are, when it comes to the new technologies, right? And also demonstrate how we can kind of help you simplify the deployment of infrastructure as a service in your data centers, right? And from your side, are there any particular things that you want to know about when you walked into this room, or you came in with no expectations? If that is the case, it's easy for me, I think, right? So how many of you guys really know about Supermicro? Thank you for your business. I hope you are deploying Supermicro products in your data centers. Thank you for that. For the folks who do not know about Supermicro, here is a little bit of a trivia, right? Supermicro is a Chinese company, Taiwanese company, or an Indian company. Which one is it? So this gentleman answered neither. That's the right answer. It's a global company with headquarters in the United States. It was founded by Taiwanese immigrants, but it is a 100% American company listed on the NASDAQ, right? So for the shipments in the North America, it ships out of the Silicon Valley, San Jose. We have regional headquarters in Netherlands. Here is the leader for the Netherlands, sitting right here, Tom. And we also have facility in Taiwan. So we are a global company shipping products depending upon the region from any of these locations, right? So basically, when you look at Supermicro's history, we started way back in, this is the footprint, by the way. When I said global company, we are more than 80, our presence is there in more than 80 countries. We have been profitable for the last 22 years in the black, all 22 years. And we have hubs in USA, Asia, and EMEA. And our customers are channel, VAR, OEM, and direct, right? So we started our life back in 1993 as components. And today, 2014, 2015, we are at a stage where we can proudly say that we are 100% total solutions company. What we mean by that is we are confident that we can provide you with a total solution, both hardware and software, and kind of, hold your hand from cradle to grave for that particular deployment. So I guess this is about OpenStack. You guys are curious about what can Supermicro do for OpenStack, right? We are partnered with Red Hat, Mirantis, and Canonical. So all of our products, when you look at it, they have been certified to work in any of these installations. So how many of the folks here are 100% OpenStack deployments? 2. That's what we expected, right? How many of you guys are VMware environment? Quite a few. And Microsoft? Storage spaces, Hyper-V. Okay, so probably for this discussion, I will probably make it, we all know in the morning you attended the sessions where everybody was talking about it is not a green field, many of it is brown field where you have some workloads and traditional VMware environments, and then there are some workloads where you want to start off in OpenStack, right? When you have that thing in mind, it becomes very important that the hardware is certified to work in both the environments, right? Obviously, you want to be able to kind of, use the hardware that is already in the VMware environment and move it to OpenStack environment and back and forth without any glitches. That's what you would expect in a real world scenario, right? In a practical scenario, and that's what we are, right? So when you look at our hardware today, we are partnered with VMware also. We do the vSAN deployments, we do the vSphere. So all of our hardware is kind of, all the servers are certified to work in the VMware environments. So the folks who are still in the VMware and happy with it, life is set. For the folks who want to try out on the OpenStack, right, whether be it dev test environment or you want to go production, we have a lot of servers certified, compute as well as storage servers certified for OpenStack. Once again, with OpenStack, obviously, there are a number of choices, right? You can go the route of Red Hat, Mirantis, or Canonical. So we have servers certified for all these different distributions. So what you can do is, if you are looking at deploying OpenStack for your dev test environments, you can choose servers from our certified list based upon the distribution you're going with, and go with it. Once again, as you all know probably by now, OpenStack, everybody was saying in the morning, it's a bag of tools. Yes, it is a bag of tools, and whenever they say a bag of tools, what it means is deployment can be a little bit tricky, right? So towards that end, what we have done is we have worked closely with our partners, software partners, Red Hat, Mirantis, and Canonical, and we have formulated reference architecture. The idea behind the reference architecture is to just give you an idea to wrap your arms around the technology. That way, for example, you have a requirement for 200 VMs or 300 VMs. You can choose a small profile, and you can choose that reference architecture. Within that reference architecture, again, you can choose a number of different distributions, Red Hat, Mirantis, or Canonical. Within that, obviously, is just a bag of tools, really, because you have a lot more choices. For networking, you can choose either Benelux, either you can choose Supermicro switches, or you can choose Arista or any of these particular vendors that you're familiar with. So at Supermicro, what we did was we validated the reference architecture with all these different components. That way, when you kind of order any of these reference architecture SKUs, you can be guaranteed that it can work in your environment. So the idea behind, there are two routes we could have taken. Try to build another engine for OpenStack deployment, or focus more on your needs of configuration and deployment, wherein you buy the architecture, reference architecture, which will suit your needs, with the peace of mind that it has been already tested for the deployment distribution that you're going to use. So that is the route we took. So whenever you order any of these reference architecture SKUs, it's guaranteed to work in your environment for that particular distribution. So the one you're seeing here is the OpenStack reference architecture for with Mirantis. This is the one we demoed in OpenStack Vancouver, right? So when you look at it, pretty much everything is included in it. It comes with the compute nodes, it comes with the controller nodes, 2 of them, and it comes with the storage node, and it also comes with the fuel cell for deployment of Mirantis OpenStack. With this one, you can be assured that once you order this one and deploy it, it is bound to run. And Mirantis will support you because it's already a certified architecture with them, right? So this takes the guesswork out of deployment, makes it simple. So while that is happening, we all know there is no one size fits all. Each one of us have preferences, and that's exactly the beauty of OpenStack. It gives you many choices. So this is the one which is with Benelux. So when you see it, Supermicro there provides the compute, and Benelux provides the networking with the Connect.io. And then you have the Scale.io, which provides the storage part of it. Once again, the idea is very simple, to make your life easy. We want to take the guesswork out of the configuration or the deployment so that you can focus on your applications that are more important to you. Because at the end of the day, we do realize as customers, you have a lot more to worry about. You have to worry about your applications, you have to worry about the security, and the stability of the hardware or the reliability of the hardware is the least of your problems because you have more pressing problems. Towards that end, we took that guesswork out of and we have the kind of architectures where you can deploy right away. Once again, based upon your networking needs as well as your applications, you can choose any of the networking partners. We have with Benelux, we have with Arista, we have with Cumulus. So that changes again. Once again, every one of you is familiar with the use cases where OpenStack really lands is in the database as well as in the HPC. HPC is where Benelux is strong with their 50 gig and Fabric interconnect. And these are the benefits usually. You get the efficiency, elasticity, and simplicity, because at the end of the day, the reason why you're moving to OpenStack is because you want more flexibility, you want more scalability, and you want more control so that you can automate better, right? So that's what you get with this one. So along those lines, Supermicro started this Ceph installation, Ceph storage, like 2 years ago, even before it was part of Red Hat. It was Inktank. We were closely working with them. And there are a lot of installations wherein we kind of provided the Ceph storage for the multimedia companies, because that's a huge hit, because you can have a lot, petabytes of storage in there at much more economical pace, as well as more flexibility, right? So that's where we are. And once again, this is fully tested and validated by Red Hat. So when you deploy it, you're sure that Red Hat will support it, and it's a worry-free environment. So how many of you guys are using Ceph or any of this large-scale storage for your deployments, or considering about it? Quite a few, right? So you know the number of choices you have is daunting. Once again, we do realize that along with the choice of your software vendors, you also have a choice of hardware vendors. We recognize that. And towards that end, we assure you that when it comes to our hardware, you are getting the latest and the greatest. You get the Haswell. You get the DDR4 memory. You got the NVMe. You get the SSDs. So basically, you're getting the latest and the greatest technology today, so that whatever investment you're making, it is protected for the next 5 years. So you don't have to bring in a forklift every 2 years to kind of do it. So your investment is protected for another 5 years with the latest technology. So once again, there is this kinetic attached storage, wherein your hard disk drives will have the IP addresses, and you can kind of directly talk to them and kind of share the data. So we have a solution fully tested and configured with the Seagate kinetic drives. So if anybody is going that route, this is another option that you have. So before we get into Supermicro advantage, right? Anyone want to share their feelings about what are the challenges they have currently with OpenStack deployments, or any of this, any of the hiccups that you guys ran into? Let me ask the question in a different way. If you were kind of expecting one thing from a solution provider, in this case, be it Supermicro, what is that one thing you would like it to be? Reliability? Please. Excellent point, yeah. Exactly. So this gentleman has a very good point, right? Whenever you buy a product, you buy the product for the next 3 or 5 years of the life cycle of the product, and you expect good support. So that is what you get with Supermicro. When you look at it, we have hardware service and support in place, along with the software support for level 1 and level 2. In most of the cases, we kind of take care of it. And for level 3, we work with our software partners like Red Hat, Mirantis, or Canonical to get it fixed, right? That way you're ensured there is no runaround. You get one single point of contact and you can make it happen. Along with service and support, what are the other things? Thank you for that good feedback. That's really important. Yeah. So what are the other things that you look for? Is getting the latest technology important for you, or you would rather have it, right? Huh? Yeah, I'm checking if you're paying attention or not. That's a good observation. So when you look at it, latest technology is very important because for a couple of reasons. You want to be, when you're investing so much money, it is not like you're going out and buying the technology every other day, right? You want it to last for the period of your, whatever the life cycle of it is. So that's the reason why going with the latest available technology is very important, and that is where Supermicro comes into picture because we pride ourselves in time to market. We take pride in bringing the latest technology first to the market. Case in point, NVMe. Everybody else is talking about it. We have more than 50 SKUs available for NVMe. Today, you can pick up the phone and order a server with all NVMe flash, right? So that is very important. And once again, we take pride, no matter what you compare us with, we come out best in performance per dollar, per watt, per square foot. And also we talked about this first market many times, right? And more importantly, when you look at the competition or vendors out there, oftentimes you are kind of thrown into this situation that these are the few SKUs we have, take it or leave it. When it comes to Supermicro, we take pride in flexibility. When you look at our product portfolio, we have more than 35,000 SKUs, which means that we have a SKU for your exact requirement. In the unlikely case that we do not have a SKU, we will make it happen for you. That's how flexible Supermicro is when it comes to understanding customers' requirements and fulfilling the customer requirements, right? And obviously, you get lower TCO because you can scale as you need, because being flexible makes it easier to get only what you want for today rather than commit to a capacity which you don't need. So that's another good point. You're lowering your total cost of operations. And the peace of mind, because it is certified, and the partners are standby to fix the problems for you. And to answer the gentleman's problem, right, global service and support is very important in our environment, and that is what we provided. Like I said, when we started out, it's a global company with presence in more than 80 countries, and we have facilities, support centers to kind of, cater to the customer's requirements. More than that, what is very important is whenever you buy a product, you need to be convinced that the vendor shares your vision, right? So that is where we come and say, hey, we understand your needs, and we have products that meet your requirements, and we do not have a choice. Here is the thing, one other thing where we kind of differentiate ourselves from the competition is we do not have any of the homegrown software distributions. So when you talk to our sales, none of the guys are going to push you into buying a Supermicro software-based solution, because honestly, that is not in the interests of the end customer, you, nor in the long-term interests of us, because each customer's requirement is different, and each customer has a preference for a particular software. In this case, we work with all these different partners, right? We have solutions kind of certified with all these different partners, be it Nexenta, be it Scality, SwiftStack, Red Hat, Mirantis, all these guys, our solutions are certified by them. So that means we don't play favorites. Based upon your requirement, your individual requirement, what you want, we have a solution that meets, right? So that is where we are. With that, I would like to open it up to questions and answers. You have any questions? Anything It doesn't have to be only OpenStack, right? We can talk about so once again, whatever I showed out there are the solutions that have been certified and are shipping today. Any questions? Last call. That means I have your business then, right? Thank you guys. Have a good time.